Alright, we're back. Whoa. Honestly, I feel like it's happening exponentially now. Like I'm scared that it's going to be gone too quickly. But wow, this episode had a lot to unpack. But I have forgotten how much I love Malcolm in the Middle. From the get-go, as soon as they started doing any types of jokes or lines, you could just tell that this is Malcolm in the Middle. I could vaguely tell the other ones. Because I didn't really grow up with those, but with this, it was so clear, such fantastic writing. It's such an accurate recreation of the sets, the shots, the comedy style. The editing was on point as well, even the soundtrack, the theme in the background. Seeing them all in their costumes, it was just great. So fun and nostalgic. I loved it. Like, Wanda looks incredible, like as always. The outfit doesn't even look that camp, I don't think. I think it's kind of quite fun, to be honest. Even the headpiece is befitting of our Scarlet Gypsy.
Do not try shrink me, Gypsy. I'm serious. These are your spells?
Vision's original outfit is a bit more on the loud side. It's been quite loud in style, but it's nowhere near as ridiculous as Quicksilver's. That hair is a triumph. That hair leaves me hope that a Dragon Ball Z live action movie is actually possible. Even though things were kicking off in the last episode, we are easily diverted back into programming as usual. The mood is playful, endearing. It's hard to deny that this life that she's created isn't adorable. And realising more of a contemporary setting, letting the characters more comfortably act like themselves considering they're from a similar era, it's nice. It's good to see that. She does deserve this. Somewhere to call home, have a family of her own. It is really unfair that she doesn't get to have this. But there's tragedy looming. I can't take it, people. This is going to break me. If she loses everything again, it would be really devastating to see that she would lose all of this, because it's beautiful and it's really sweet. It's also awful and authoritarian and kind of cruel, but still, you can't blame her. The balance between the Hex world and the real world now is just about right. I'd say we're taking strides every episode towards the next plot point. Still, I crave more, and I feel like it's hard for people to separate those two things. Whether am I getting enough of WandaVision each week, or are they just really good at making me want more? I'm going with the former, because Jack Schaefer, I think, is doing a fantastic job. I'm still so excited to see where this goes. We didn't really get to see much of Paul Bettany in this episode, but each moment was gold. It was fantastic. As soon as he enters the scene, Vision plays along for a bit, entertains the family, but it's clear that he still isn't satisfied with what's going on since the last episode and what he's learned about Westview. He straight up defies Wanda in front of everyone, in front of the whole family, and then goes off on a covert reconnaissance mission. It's pretty interesting. I don't know whether I fully buy that Wanda would let him go, but maybe she knows that she did actually try to make him stay. It would kind of shatter what she wants. She wants him to be himself, as alive, but he's obviously an earnest droid. North Americans out there, your Halloween looks so fun. Everyone's so bright, the streets wide and open. I'm from the UK myself, and Halloween is not really like that here. It's a time to get stuffed in a sweaty party with numerous half-assed zombie-clad students, or deftly dodging eggs on the streets. It's not as nice as that. It's pretty gross. I guess it can be nice at times anyway, but Jimmy Woo, you dog. Ugh. Seeing him and Monica kicking ass to escape Sword was bad ass. I genuinely was shocked and delighted. Previous to that, we ended up with a little extra confirmation that Wanda's hex magic is changing people on a cellular level. Mutants, mutants, mutants. Oh, I'm so excited. Another reference to the engineer as well, who is coming to aid Monica too. I'm not really sure who this could be. I love it to be Reed Richards. You know, I'm sure lots of people want it to be Reed Richards, but I've kind of got a feeling that it's the Skrull from Captain Marvel. Even though he was shot and supposedly dead, I don't know. People come back all the time, so it could be either the Skrull from Captain Marvel, it could be Talos, but who knows? Let's see where it goes. This could be revealed actually in the next episode. If Evan Peters didn't already have huge implications for what's going to go forward, I feel like this engineer may be quite a big thing going forward as well, and into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But what if it's Doom? What if it's Doom? Wild fantasies. I gotta tone it down. Gotta relax. The places Wanda takes the family while she's getting into it with Pietro, they're quite beautiful. I mean, what she's done to the town is actually quite beautiful. Everyone's socializing. There's kids now. There are actually kids everywhere. Aside from the really badly programmed NPCs on the outskirts. My man! I did enjoy the role that Pietro or Evan Peters had in this episode, like the trope of the brother in from out of town stirs at the family. But instead of him commenting on the narrative, he actually is more confronting her about the actual reality of the problem. Like, what is she doing? How is she doing this? Why is he still alive? He's even aware that he doesn't look like the way he should. It's very interesting. He even comments that Vision is dead in front of everyone. And then he also asks, what happened to your accent? The Russos actually came up with a pretty good reason for what happened to Wanda's accent when asked about it during Civil War. They said that it's because she was actually training as a spy. She was a covert agent. She was training with Black Widow in order to become more of an effective Avenger. And her having a Sokovian accent, looking like she is, it wouldn't be hard for someone to figure out who she was. So something that would have helped protect her is if she had a more authentic American accent instead of having her Sokovian accent. I think that's pretty cool. I think it makes sense, and it also makes sense why she has a slight twinge of Sokovian back in Civil War, and then it kind of fully disappears in Infinity War. Fun theory. What if Wanda used sitcoms to learn her new accent before Civil War? That would be a really cool Marvel moment, that actually she was practicing and learning how to speak with a better, more authentic American accent by watching these kind of sitcoms that she's actually reliving now. And that would actually make sense because that's also the time that she probably spent most time with Vision, like in the Avengers facility and just chilling out. And that's probably when they got to know each other. So I think that's kind of cool. That'd be a cool little Easter egg. Billy and Tommy are starting to develop. They're becoming Wiccan and Speed. At the same time, though, Vision is making his way closer to the edge of the hex field. Does anyone agree that Agnes's reaction seemed a bit staged? Like, she certainly looked like she wanted to leave those nuggets of information to Vision. Now that the kids are older, there's no real reason to worry about a conflict between Wanda and Vision. It would be most likely to be more beneficial to see them at conflict now for any of these unseen antagonists that we haven't quite been revealed to yet. Vision leaving the Hex was horrific. There's no other way to really describe it. It was straight up Hotel California. It was dark. That was some dark stuff. It's official. Vision is bound to the Hex, and even his vibranium body was tearing apart to be forced back into the Hex. And while he pleads with someone to help the people inside, he's such a hero. Like, he's a second-gen Avenger, but he's still probably one of my favorite, one of the best Avengers that there ever was. Darcy pleading with Sword to help him was rough. I mean, come on, people. Like, get in there. Like, I guess they would be slightly afraid of what's going on and isn't quite normal. Wanda freezing the town, though, while wearing her OG Scarlet Witch outfit and then expanding the Hex field. That was pretty cool. I was pretty blown away by that. She looked intimidating again. And she didn't just do it a little bit. it seemed to go on for at least half a mile, maybe more. Is this the answer to mutants? Is the Avengers level event that we've been promised in WandaVision actually that Wanda will expand the hex across the entire planet and awaken the X gene to any who have it? This is getting nuts. I mean, somebody pointed out to me that would be a bit lame because it would kind of negate any of the rich history that the X-Men actually have. So if we made all the mutants now, then people like Magneto wouldn't exist because they would be kids. Or even if they got their powers now, we wouldn't be able to go into his Jewish background. We wouldn't be able to go into his amazing story. It's definitely one of the most richest stories of most of the Marvel characters. Then I had a thought, what if, because Wanda has brought in Pietro, which we know is from another timeline, from another universe, what if she accidentally merges or imprints another universe into our own? So she kind of pulls in the X-Men universe and then kind of not only changes people on Earth but changes the timeline. So people like Magneto, Xavier, these older characters, they will exist now in the Marvel Universe. Or maybe they already do, but then instead of them having the normal life they led, they actually have this new backstory that we know that Charles was a telepath at a young age, and then he became a prominent genealogist, and then so on. And then Eric, or Magneto, he has his story about growing up in Auschwitz and so on. So you could do it. You could kind of just sort of smash the two things together, and then not only do we get new mutants, but we get old mutants and the timeline that we're familiar with room to kind of change things and add what we like. I think it's a pretty good idea. I think that would be a good way of getting what we all want and faster than having to wait decades before the characters we know and love to go through the periods that we want them to go through. But the thing is, it wouldn't be the same. What do we say that Magneto was in Guantanamo Bay and then he got out of it and then he learns about his magnetic powers? Guess it's all right, but it's not the same, and it would be different, and it would be difficult, and it would be very hard to sell that to people. I think die-hard fans would be quite upset with it, but it could work. I think it'd be quite interesting. People, this is still getting even more exciting every episode. I am thoroughly looking forward to the next week's installment. I was supposed to post my Captain America Winter Soldier 4K review on Friday, but I was so engrossed in watching it, I watched it again with commentary, and then after finding out that the French Connection and 3 Days of Condor inspired it, I decided to watch those too before I did a review, because I love that movie and I wanted to know everything about it. I wanted to know everything about how it became, what inspired it, where they came up with the ideas for it, and it's just such a gem in the MCU. So thank you for watching. If you come this far, please comment below what you think is going to happen maybe next week. Do you think that Wanda should get an updated suit that incorporates her Scarlet Witch tiara? Let me know below. Again, thanks for the likes, love to the subs, and I'll see you all next time.